Hello, all. Welcome back. This is take number 2 for me because I got about 10 minutes into this video previously and realized that my mic was still muted. I'm looking over now and I see the Yeti moving now. So here we go. Hey, welcome back to the V Gaming. I'm the Saverings, your host. And today we got some big news in the world of Sony Interactive Entertainment and in general, video gaming in general. So Hideaki Nishino-san was elevated to the role of CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. We also had someone promoted to Hiroko Totoki san, promoted to Sony CEO. And Herman Holtz will remain as the CEO of PlayStation Studios. So basically what happened was, here as reported by IGN, also on Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is pretty good. This is where I go and get all my stock information. Who knew Yahoo would be collaborating and actually be doing actual journalism? But they're pretty solid. They have been solid for a long time, as far as like journalism stuff goes. But here we'll look on Sony's page, and as you can see here, PlayStation, right? Sony Interactive Entertainment, San Mateo, California. That's right. PlayStation is an American company. Remember that. They're an American company. And that's for a few reasons. I'll go over this briefly before we get back. I don't want to lose the lead here. But basically, an American company cannot buy a Japanese company. So just in case the mothership back in Japan wants to ever scrape PlayStation off, they're based out of California, not Japan. They'd be open for an acquisition. The company who I believe it would be that, and this is pointed at my little pony friend in real life, and I've been saying this to him for over a decade, and he shakes his head at me all the time, but he needs to search his feelings. He knows it to be true. Amazon PlayStation 7, anyone? We can get into that into another video, but I think they have the most to gain from doing that, and I think they have the most cash on hand to do it. But anyway, I digress. I'm not saying Sony is doomed to step out of it, but this is just in case. I believe they have at least one more generation in them. It will be a Sony PlayStation 6. Of that, there's no doubt. But past that, I can't really guarantee anything. If there's going to be a Sony PlayStation 7, it's going to be because Sony Studios themselves went multi-plat, very much like how Microsoft's doing now. That's the only way that they can keep it going and keep up the flow of games and the type of games that people are accustomed on PlayStation. That's the only way they can do it. But I digress. So, Sony Interactive Entertainment, an American company based out of San Mateo, California, has announced that they appointed Hideaki Nishino the role of president and CEO effective April Fools of this year. This marks an evolution. Here comes a corporate speak. This marks an evolution designed to maximize synergies across Sony Interactive Entertainment that was announced alongside Herman Holst, everybody's boy Herman Holst, who's just, you know what? I don't really know too much about this guy, but him being in the news lately, he's a straight shooter, at least from what I can tell. So I appreciate that, especially coming out of Sony. He's appointed CEO of the Sony Studio Business Group. He'll continue to serve as CEO, and he'll be the CEO of Sony Studios, the ones who make Horizon and all those first-party games that you all love, like Gran Turismo and all that stuff. Sony Group Corporation is also Hiroki Toko, president, COO, and CFO at Sony Group, will step down from his chairman position to become the president and CEO. Oh, this was the main bean counter guy. He was the interim before they brought on these two, Nishino-san and Herman Holst, to be the co-ones. And he's the chief. He was the chief bean counter, and now he's president. That's interesting. They made the chief bean counter the president and CEO of all of Sony. And replacing him, Lin Tao. That sounds like a Chinese name. Okay. Currently serving as Senior Vice President, Finance, Corporate Strategy, and Development. Will step down from her position to become CFO. Oh, so they made the Senior Vice President of Finance, Corporate Strategy, and Development for Sony Interactive Entertainment. So the person who was in charge of finance and strategy and development for PlayStation is leaving there to become the main bean counter of all of Sony. That's interesting. And they haven't announced their successor yet. That's very interesting. Hmm. Okay. Da-da-da. Corporate speak works closely. Da-da-da-da-da. Have you noticed all the leadership now over at Sony had something to do with PlayStation? It's because PlayStation is their biggest moneymaker, revenue wise. Profit wise, it's like fourth or fifth. There's four or five more profitable things at Sony than PlayStation in the end. PlayStation makes a lot of money revenue wise. I think last financial year, they made like $30 billion revenue, gross revenue. But then after expenses and all that stuff, I think it only ended up being just over a billion, maybe pushing 2 billion. I thought it was like 1.5 something billion, which really is not a good ROI, return on investment. To spend 28.5 billion to make 30 billion and only pocket 1.5 billion as actual profit. That's not a good return. Um, Now, granted, they were still selling relatively newer hardware with the PS5. It takes a while for that to become profitable. That's even after they raised the price after launch on the PS5. But they also did release the PSVR 2, of which that's you lose money on those. You lose money on hardware in the console business. Those are loss leaders, so you can sell software. So that includes those losses per unit sold. Um, It'll be interesting to see what their numbers look like after this year, with the game that was Concord, that they reportedly lost anywhere from 200 to $400 million on. They introduced the PSP, which they lost money on per unit sold of those, and the Pro, which they're definitely losing money on. If anything, they may be breaking even on those, but I doubt it. They're probably losing money on those because they want you in their ecosystem to get the PSN subscription and to buy software. That's where they really make their money. So let's see. Connecting millions of players, blah 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 blah. Began his career at Sony in 2000 and currently serves as CEO of Platform Business Groups of Sony Interactive President. As CEO of Platform Business Group, he led technology, products, and service and platform experience in addition to overseeing, this is interesting, overseeing third-party publisher and developer relations. So he oversaw the money hatting over there. It's because of this guy, Stellar Blade is exclusive. It's because of him that whatever other pick your other money hatted games, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. What are some other third-party games that Sony themselves doesn't own, but they're not going anywhere? You guys get the idea, though, right? Commercial operations, including sales and marketing of hardware, services, and peripherals. Prior to that role, he sold as Senior Vice President, Platform Experience Group. Platform Experience Group, that would be like performance, UI, customer-facing stuff, transactions, things of that nature. Your Platform Experience Group. How things all work together. How your PSVR and your PSVR 2 work with the hardware, your controllers, and vice versa, all that stuff. Platform Experience Group. At least that's how it functions at other places that I've worked, that have done kind of similar things to this. I'm truly honored to be at helm. Continue to serve as CEO for the Platform Business Group and as CEO of Sony's Studio Business Group. Host will continue to lead the development, publishing, and business operations of Sony's first-party content. Good luck there, with all them live service games getting canceled left and right. He is also responsible for developing games across many devices, including PlayStation consoles and PCs. Give us some games, homie. And bringing new video game IP to new mediums through PlayStation Productions. So these might be the people that oversee possibly a change of how Sony first publishing goes. First party studio publishing goes. All very interesting. So basically, the TLDR is all the bean counters, specifically a lot of people with PlayStation experience, are now running a lot of Sony itself and a lot of major divisions, including PlayStation. The people in charge are the ones who are in charge of the money hatting. previously, and in charge of the peripherals and add-ons. So your PSVRs, your PS5 Pros, your PS4 Pros, your PSPs, your PlayStation Portals. I'm sorry, not PSP, PlayStation Portal, two separate things, because Sony, of course. Things of that nature. So my prediction is they're going to be really tight with the budgets. This may be the group that cuts down their games from those big blockbuster tentpole movie triple A's to big blockbuster tentpole double A's. You know, where they have like a $50 or $100 million budget. Some movies are going to go from an Avengers movie to Deadpool. And Deadpool was still a good movie. Now Deadpool 2, Deadpool 1. That Deadpool 1 cost $50 million and made a couple $100 million. So it was very profitable because it didn't really cost much. $50 million is like nothing for like a major Hollywood production. So it may go from that. I'm not saying that they're going to cut their budgets to like $50 million, coming down from like $100 or $200 million, but there's going to be some scaling back. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you look at the most popular games in the world, most of them don't cost hundreds of millions of dollars to produce. At least they didn't at first. You know, if you look at your Counter Strikes, if you look at your Dota 2s, if you look at your League of Legends, if you look at your Marvel Rivals, the most expensive thing with Marvel Rivals is the license, but I have a feeling they've made that money back and then some already. If you look at your Apex Legends, that might have cost a little something because it's EA, and they like to bloat over there. If you look at your what are some other big games that I'm not remembering right now? Minecraft originally was written by one guy in Java. That didn't cost very much to produce. Things of that nature. The biggest games in the world are indie and free to play live service double A games at best, you know. So maybe this will be the group where we see them cut that down. Maybe this will also be the group where we see an acceleration of PS IPs, not just coming back on the PlayStation itself, but also coming back on other platforms as well. Bring back Parappa the Rappa, please. I'd like to see another Vib Ribbon. You own way more music now. You could do a Vib Ribbon game again. I'd like to see bring back some old funky ones. Can we get like a really good Twisted Metal? Can we get a Twisted Metal remake or a remaster? I'd pay $40 for a Twisted Metal remaster. Especially if you put it on PC. Yes, give me that. Twisted Metal 2 in particular. Can we finally get Bloodborne and Demon Souls officially on PC? Stuff like that. And here's the thing: if you're gonna also be doing funky stuff that people don't like, such as the mandatory PSN network sign-ins, if you're gonna do that on PC, can we get the full functionality of PlayStation Network along with it? Can we get the trophies? Can it play nice with Steam so we also get Steam achievements with it? Can you add crossplay? Is this going to be the group that finally fixes crossplay on PlayStation? Just, little stuff like that. Let me wrap this up. We're going on like 14 minutes now. But basically, I'll leave it at that. What do you guys think of this change? Do you think I'm full of shit? Will any of this come to fruition? What do you guys think this group will do? Will they steady the ship? You think any or all of these people will make it through to see to the other end? What about my prediction for potentially a PlayStation 7? Will it be a Sony PlayStation 7 or will it be an Amazon PlayStation 7? We'll see. So let it be known down there in the comments. Hit me up on Steam at the V-Gaming group. Hit me up on Twitter at V-Gaming. See you guys on there. I'll do a better job at posting notifications and stuff for videos. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. That's all I really got for now. I'm going to play some games because that's what gamers do. Peace out.